The news this hour, a reaction to the sacking of 12,000 miners and a radical cleric to be extradited to the US. Good evening, I'm Vignesh Naidu. COSATU General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi has called on Anglo-American Platinum to reinstate the 12,000 workers it's dismissed at its Rustenburg operations. On the axing of these workers at Rustenburg, Anglo Platinum says they'd ignored warnings to attend disciplinary hearings. Vavi says this is just a publicity stunt by Amplats.
We will engage with them in every possible way moving forward, through mass action, through legal processes. But also it is just not sustainable to fire 12,000 people that have skills that we have taken many years for workers to acquire. So I think it's just a stunt to try and intimidate people. It's not going to work. It is bedeviling the process.
Management's confirmed that as a result of unprotected strikes at its various mines, total lost platinum production has amounted to 39,000 ounces, resulting in lost revenue of about 700 million rands. Cape Town police are investigating whether the shooting of a man at Nyanga is related to the ongoing strike in the trucking sector. Health authorities have confirmed that a man was wounded in the leg and taken to hospital. According to eyewitnesses, a truck driver opened fire at Bochard's Quarry Road where his vehicle was stoned earlier today. Health Department spokesperson Faisal Stein.
Only one gentleman actually was taken to the nearby hospital. A child was also on the scene and was a bit disorientated and seen to by the paramedics, but only the one adult male was taken to a nearby hospital.
The presidency says it accepts the decision of the Constitutional Court that President Jacob Zuma's appointment of Menzies Simelane as National Director of Public Prosecutions was unconstitutional. The ruling confirmed an earlier finding of the Supreme Court of Appeals, which Zuma accepted, but which Justice Minister Jeff Radebe appealed in the highest court in the land. The court also found that President Zuma had acted irrationally in appointing Simelane. Presidential spokesperson Mac Maharaj.
The presidency respects and abides by the ruling of the Constitutional Court, which is the highest court in our democracy. In the meantime, the full judgment is being studied with a view to mapping how the way forward will conform to the requirements of that judgment.
Private hospital group Mediclinic says it's been participating in government initiatives to reform the health sector. Mediclinic was responding to a statement made by the University of Pretoria's Professor Eric Bew. He said private hospitals and doctors have repeatedly said they're in support of the NHI scheme, but they failed to come up with proposals or suggestions for their benefit. Mediclinic Sarika Besasar says these statements are ill-informed.
Private hospitals in South Africa have consistently and actively participated in government's initiatives to reform the health sector. Mediclinic and indeed HASA have made very detailed submissions to the Department of Health in response to the publication of the Green Paper on the NHI. Subsequent to the submissions, HASA has continued to work towards engaging with the Minister of Health on how the private hospital sector can assist in dealing with some of the most critical problems experienced in the South African health system, such as the training of nurses and improving the quality of healthcare delivered.
And finally, further afield, the UK High Court ruled that the extremist Muslim cleric Abu Hamza al-Mazri should be extradited to the United States to face terrorism charges. Abu Hamza's lawyers had argued that his health had deteriorated and needed to undergo medical tests. Our top story at 6 o'clock, COSATU General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi's called on Anglo-American Platinum to reinstate the 12,000 workers it's dismissed at its Rustenburg operations.